Do we have a button for that?
We don't have a button. No, we're not that fancy. One day we will, though.
Cool. We'll get there.
Welcome. It is December 21st, 2023, and you are listening to The Coach's Sons. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
And we are here to talk more baseball. And, you know, it's coming tradition here, Chris, that I am just going to get to start off and talk about how I was right-ish this time again.
You're 2 for 3, man.
I mean...
And we got an open board.
It's not off the table. There's a chance that the Dodgers still take Snell, and my wild and crazy prediction that they would have Ohtani, they'd have Glasnow, and they would have Snell will come true. And by the way, I would hate every second of that, but I mean, the Dodgers are proving me right yet again. So
back to that episode of us just saying everybody's going to the Dodgers. That was your final guess, even though you may have cheated, even when you said you
I may have cheated. And I added another one with Kershaw going to the Giants, which
true.
Still
that's on the table
still. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm doing pretty good.
I don't know if that's you or just the lack of moves in general at this point. But overall, man, that's a great call, right? Like, just to hit on Ohtani, you know, we're, a week and a half, 2 weeks out since it happened. 10 years. $700 million.
I was wrong on that one. I was like, no way they go over 5, and they did.
I mean, I was at 6, but I wasn't.
In my defense, they're not paying him that. I mean, they're deferring most of it. So, I mean, really, I'm kind of right.
Most of it, they're deferring like 98% of it.
That's
like
so wild.
$2 million. He's gonna get paid from the Dodgers. Thanks, Kim Possible.
Power Rangers, brother.
Sorry, whomever. He's gonna get paid $2 million a year from the Dodgers themselves. Mm-hmm. Talk about an uproar. Baseball X, baseball Twitter, baseball Reddit was on fire due to this. You thought people didn't like the Dodgers to start. They make a crazy deal that was mentioned. Like, Ohtani is the one that brought it up. He's the one that wanted to do it. He knew what it would provide the Dodgers and provide him in trying to go seal his, I don't even know the word. I'm
legacy?
That's the word.
Yeah.
Legacy.
Yeah.
And now he's going to win another MVP or two. He's going to win a World Series or two. And partially because he's just taking deferred money.
So, okay. Ohtani's now on the Dodgers.
Sure is.
Are they a World Series winning team? Let's not talk about the other thing that happened. Let's just, with Ohtani, does Ohtani make the Dodgers World Series caliber?
When he's a pitcher, yes. Okay. So maybe not immediately right now.
Okay, fair enough.
I say that because I was texting someone about this. It wasn't you, unfortunately. But it was, if you look at the bottom of the order of that lineup and then like that pitching rotation, it's okay.
It's not great.
It's okay.
Right.
It's you're waiting for Dustin May to come back. I don't think he's pitching this year.
No.
Like, you got Tony Gosselin, sure. Off the top of my head, I can't even think of.
The Dodgers don't have pitching, right?
Right. So when he gets back, he's your number one.
Yep.
You know, I know you're still alive with Kershaw to the Giants, but I'd be stunned if he didn't sign a deal with the Dodgers.
I don't think he's going back to the Dodgers, man. I don't. It's maybe not the Giants, but you know, there's other teams interested in Kershaw. I just don't think it's going to be the Dodgers anymore. I think it's time for a change, but maybe not. You know, we'll see what happens. But I mean, I'm with you. I think the Dodgers, and of course Ohtani was the big fish, and I hate the Dodgers are the ones who ended up with him. But I don't actually think that makes the Dodgers now World Series caliber. They're still missing a lot of pieces, and they're still only top heavy.
I mean, we're talking about a team that won like 100+ games that just added the best player in the game.
Okay.
So
but
from that perspective, we're kind of talking out of our ignorance there.
I mean, it's fair, but at no point did the Dodgers in the playoffs look like they were going to win a World Series. Neither did the Braves, you know, so I can't really say much, but it is, you can win as many regular season games as you want, but if you don't have that postseason moxie, it's not going to happen. And Ohtani, playing for the Angels for as long as he did, has 0 postseason experience, right? Does he have a postseason at bat?
No. I mean, Trout has like 9, and that was well before Ohtani showed up. But yeah, I mean, I pulled up while you were talking there the Dodgers roster, but sans Glasnow for now. Walker Buehler, forgot about him because he missed all last year.
Yeah.
Right. There was a chance he came back. He didn't.
He did not.
So maybe with an offseason, he's back to neutral. But, I mean, other than that, like a lot of faith in Bobby Miller, right? Who's a young guy who could be good.
Right.
Or, is good, but needs to take that next step. And again, Dustin May, like Gavin Stone, another prospect type guy. So that's going to lead us to getting Glasnow. Right. So Ohtani's grand plan, the Dodgers' grand plan worked. Right. Shortly, 48 hours. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah.
Ohtani signs the contract. Specifics leak out. Right. Everybody's mad. And then they go and get Tyler Glasnow. Yes, Manuel Margot as well. He'll just be a platoon guy. But Tyler Glasnow's the get.
That's a big get. Obviously, we just talked about how the Dodgers' biggest hole was pitching. Not anymore. Well, I mean, it's still a hole. Don't get me wrong, because
they still need more.
Yes, Ohtani's not going to pitch for another year.
Snell is open. Snell is available. It's possible. We'll get more back on him later about other potential landing spots, but they
have the money. They have the money to go for whoever the hell they want.
They set out to do. Ohtani wanted a team around him. They went and got Glasnow, and he signed immediately. Off the top of my head, 5 years, 135. Good for him.
Yep.
He doesn't. If he stays healthy, he's a problem. But the issue is he hasn't been healthy in a long time. He doesn't really pitch much over 100 innings because he just can't do it.
Right.
And you have to.
You would maybe say he's made of glass.
I'm not even going to respond to that. You took me out of everything. I can't believe this. So what I was trying to say before that horrendous attempt at a joke was anytime you trade with the Rays, you have to be weary.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're like, what do they know that I don't? Right? Like they got Ryan, bear with me on his pronunciation, Peepo, and Johnny DeLuca. That Johnny DeLuca is like 25. Yeah. The pitcher, Peepo. Sorry,
I'm not trying. You have your.
Yeah, I apologize.
Have your best.
But he has potential. That guy could turn into something. In Tampa, they've just got a pitching factory. He'll be on another contender in 2 or 3 years.
Correct.
Right when he's.
And that's what the Rays do.
Contract.
They just churn out people to trade. For whatever reason.
Right now, the Dodgers won the trade, right? Glasnow's the better guy.
1,000%. It's not even close.
In 3 years, hopefully we're still doing this and we could revisit. Maybe the Rays do end up winning that and, those guys pan out. But Dodgers did what they set out to do. Ohtani got his wish. He got another guy to come with them. They're not done.
No, they're not.
They're not done. They're far from it. There's still a ton of guys available. And just what you...
I think it's fair to say the Dodgers are going to sign at least one more starter and maybe even a bullpen guy.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you. So it's the Dodgers are definitely not done. And that's a terrifying thing to say because I was talking smack about them earlier not being World Series caliber, but like you said, they won 100-plus games. They very, very well are a threat. Here's the deal, though. There's 2 big fish out there when it comes to pitching. Snell, we kept saying, but there's still Yamamoto.
There is.
And you said earlier in the last podcast that he wants to play with a countryman. Ohtani's there. I've seen reports, I don't know how accurate they are, saying that Ohtani's trying to lure him in. Do we think the biggest fish left goes to the Dodgers? Now, of course, the Yankees, the Mets, they're part of the conversation still. I think someone said Blue Jays, but I doubt it. Probably me because I always add the Blue Jays for whatever reason.
And I'll always not support that decision.
Yeah, and you continue to hate on Toronto for whatever reason.
It's a nice city.
You really hate Drake for, I don't know what he did to you. But, so is that a possibility? And if they do get him, how terrifying are the Dodgers?
Well, yeah, they get Yamamoto, and every bit of concern we had of a pitching rotation is gone.
Yeah,
right. Like there's your 1-2. Think about just quickly. Like this is a weird aside, but think about the Phillies, right? Who's their 1-2? Wheeler, Nola, right? Think about a 1-2 of Yamamoto, Glasnow. Yeah, sure, Yamamoto hasn't pitched in the majors yet, but everything you see on
all signs point to he's going
to be a guy, and he's 24, 25 years old.
Hold on.
We're staying
Hold
there.
on.
No, I'm confident in that.
No. You are so bad at this. I'm looking it up right now.
25.
You keep talking. 25. That's your
done.
Your
final. 25
okay.
years old.
Okay.
So he comes in and he just solidifies that. So now anything like, can you name the Phillies' third starter in the playoffs? It was Ranger Suarez, right? Like in Ty Walker, he didn't even pitch in the postseason, like at starting a game.
Right.
Yes, you're gonna get Ohtani eventually, but currently you're talking. You get Yamamoto, you have Glasnow. There's your 1-2 punch. If you get 75% of what Bueller's supposed to be, you're looking at me like I got the age wrong.
I'm looking at you because I think you cheated, because he is 25 years old. Look at that. Bang, Chris.
That's the first one.
That is the very first one in like 1,000
I'm
tries.
still below the Mendoza line.
1,000% below that line. Okay, sorry, keep going.
So if the Dodgers get him, like now, are we talking about a 120 win baseball team?
Oh God. I mean, obviously they have to stay healthy. There's that.
Yeah, sure. That could decimate any team at any point.
Exactly.
So that all blows up. That's a Mets situation, right? But they're better.
1,000%.
But they're better.
They look better than the Mets did last year.
Any way you look at it, you're talking Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Ohtani. If you want to break up the lefty thing for analytics' sake, you throw Will Smith in the middle there, who's arguably the best hitting catcher going right now. So okay, Mookie, Freddie, Ohtani. I don't even know how you make up the order.
I don't know. I don't know if
there's your top four. Good luck.
Yeah. Just walk everybody. Just put them on base.
Max Muncy's going to hit 220 and hit 35 home runs out of like the 7th spot. Like they've got it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to keep harping on them because people will get turned off. So I want to talk about their counterparts in the West. And it's not a splashy signing. It's not, it's not Ohtani. It's not Yamamoto. But the D-backs signed Lourdes Gurriel.
Yeah.
And that's a re-signing, right? So it doesn't feel flashy at all. But they spent about $15 million a year on him.
You were complaining about how they didn't spend money.
And they completely turned that around.
Yeah. Between
him, Suarez, and Eduardo Rodriguez, you're talking 20, 35, like almost $45-50 million right there from those three guys.
And, I mean, it's not $700 million.
Well, no, but from a team that again claims broke, as the Diamondbacks do, or claims that they don't have enough money. The last report was after Gurriel signed from, I think it was Passan, said they're not done. They want to go get a DH type guy.
Yeah, I love to see that. It's one of those, they tasted greatness and they don't want to let it go. So good for them.
How many teams get there and then just say, "Oh, we tried and that's it"?
Look at the Royals a couple years ago. Or the Marlins. Marlins are a bad example.
So don't.
Yeah, that's not fair.
But they retooled. Again, Gurriel's a re-signing, but he's a plus. He's a positive player.
I mean, it's the right thing to do. Yeah. They need that guy.
I like what they're doing. I'd like to see what they end up doing. If they can land another guy. I think pitching's set for the most part. Maybe.
Their pitching's definitely set.
Maybe an innings eater. I don't know who their 5th guy is. I'm not going to make that up.
Yeah.
But I like what they're doing. Are they going to win 100 games? No.
They don't have to, like they've proven.
True. Can they contend with the Dodgers? I guess. The thing about baseball, and this was pilot episode, is in a 3-4 game series, anything can happen, or whatever. A 7-game series, excuse me. But so yes, they can compete. The D-backs aren't substantially worse than the Dodgers are.
Correct.
But over 162 games, that's your sample size.
Yeah.
Over 162, the Dodgers are going to win 100 plus.
Yeah, they'll be worse.
I'd be stunned if the D-backs did that. And probably preseason will, probably hash out some season win totals.
Yeah, definitely.
If they're below 90, I'm probably going to take the over.
Yeah.
I think they end up 90 to 95, but that's a long ways from now because there's a lot of moves to be made, a lot of things.
Yeah, really, if we're thinking about, not a lot of things have happened. I mean,
that's true.
And obviously the big fish had happened, but everything else has been pretty quiet. I know you've got a list over there of other signings that have happened. So, what else do we have that's of note?
We've got another Japanese-born player, Jung Hoo Lee, went to the Giants.
I think he's going to be excellent. By the way,
he's got some pretty good numbers.
I think that's a sleeper all-star right there. I think the Giants got a good one. Now it's not flashy. Obviously, it's not one of the bigger names, but I think they're gonna get a lot of great usage out of that guy.
They got him for 6 years, roughly $19 million a year.
Yeah.
You said it, and I kind of forgot about them last time. Was the Giants have money?
Yes.
Like you forget about them. Little brother to the Dodgers.
Correct.
And you don't say little brother that way because they've been a multiple-time World Series champion recently, but you see them hit like a rebuild set, and you're like, these guys have money. Like they should never be rebuilding. Like some of the prospects they called up are meh. Like Joey Bart didn't really pan out. That shortstop Luciano's up, but we don't really know yet.
Yeah.
So they go and get Lee. It's a crowded outfield now. I think that takes him out of the running for some available free agents. But like this guy's hitting like 350, 360.
Yeah.
Like it's in Japan.
Yeah, he's not going to hit that
batting
much.
averages and everything, but you're talking in what is it still AT&T Park? I hope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with AT&T.
I think it is
in San Francisco.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bay.
That place is huge. You're not going to be, unless you're Barry Bonds, you're not hitting 40 home runs a year there. If you are, you're going to command a bit top dollar.
Right.
But he's a doubles guy too. He's got 49, 42, 36.
Yeah, I mean he's top of the lineup.
He's going to be a good player.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to be a solid overall player.
Completely
He's probably going to be I can't think of his name, Yoshida, like that guy from Boston.
Yeah.
Probably he might even be a little better.
Yeah.
Time will tell. I could be wrong. I feel like I knew a little bit more about Yoshida when he came over, then forgot about him because the Red Sox have been forgotten about altogether. But that's neither here nor there. Other signings I want to talk about. The Kansas City Royals are spending a ton of money.
Wild.
I don't know if it makes sense. You can argue that. You can argue why. Right? Seth Lugo, $15 million a year for 3 years.
Okay.
Michael Wacha, $16 million a year for 2 years. He can leave after a year.
Okay.
I think we touched on it. I think this happened a while ago. Will Smith is there.
Yep, we talked about Will Smith. His 3-year streak's coming to an end.
Sure. Yeah. That. And they signed Hunter Renfroe, about $6.5 million. Renfroe gets a lot more credit, I think, than he deserves. He's very good defensively, but with the bat, he has not been very good. I guess those types of deals, you see if you can turn it around and get shipped out somewhere and make a difference. But overall, for a quote-unquote small market team like the Royals, that's spending. They got two good pitchers. That their team got better.
Okay, their team got better for sure. I mean, but we're talking about did they win 60 games last year?
No, I don't think so.
Man, right. I mean, obviously it's not hard to get better than what they were. But none of those signings make me go, holy cow. So it's interesting for sure. And it's good to see that they're tired of getting destroyed. You just made a face. How many wins was it?
No, they were 56. You were pretty spot on.
I was close.
No,
yeah,
you were pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I was trying to draw up an argument of like, they were only so many games out. I mean, they finished 22 games behind the Tigers.
Behind the Tigers.
Yeah. The Twins won. They finished 31 out there.
That's so bad.
The Twins are going to regress a little bit. I think they still might end up top
31 games bad.
Yeah. Okay. We could pump the brakes a little in terms of.
I mean, you add those guys together, their WAR is going to be what? Maybe 5 games.
6. Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. I don't know.
Rethinking where I was going with that, because I was like, maybe they could contend for the division, and the short answer is no. Chris, you're an idiot. Chris was wrong. However, they got better, and they're spending money to do so.
Yeah,
and that's exciting for the fan. For a fan base.
Right? I mean, absolutely. Like if I'm watching a team lose 100+ games, which is, by the way,
it's a lot of
bonkers.
It's a lot
to lose 100 games. I'm glad to see that we're not going to lose 100. Maybe we'll lose 90. That's still bad, but it makes me want to go to the ballpark a couple more times. So, I mean, I don't wish ill on the Royals. at all. So hopefully they turn out some good baseball. But I mean, nothing about the Royals is exciting.
If I don't know what it is, if their over under is 63.5, what do you take? Wins in 2024. Right now, the off season isn't over. Technically,
Right
they
now,
could do more.
if it's right now, I'm going over.
Over.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're gonna improve. You have them improve. What did I say? 63.5, 60. What did I say?
So 6 games, 6.5 games.
They won 56 games. So if I say 54, that's what, 8?
Oh, 54. I think you said 53 or 63. I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Okay. Who knows? We're really bad at this. I'm gonna take anything that's less than 10 games.
Okay, under 66 is your play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll circle back to that. I like that.
That's where I am right now.
I might be on the Royals.
Now,
this
if
year.
the Royals can, might be on the Royals to win 66. What a boring ass bet that is.
Yeah, you say that. You say that until you're watching Vinny P hit bombs, bottom 8 in.
I love the idea of it's like
mid-July.
Like we're coming up. It's like late September, and we're like, guys, the Royals just need 3 more wins. Holy crap!
They're going to be playing like the White Sox. The White Sox don't have any, but it's going to be close.
We're going to be so excited.
It's going to come down to like the last 2 weeks. That's going to be
1,000%.
That's going to be a fun one.
They're going to get some garbage time wins there. That's going to help our over-unders. Okay.
I'm excited.
All right, so let's move on from the Royals. Enough of that.
So, I mean, like you said, kind of light in terms of deals. That's really it.
Yeah.
Some very, very small deals. Tyler Mahle went to the Rangers. He was a former Red. Kind of banged up. Had Tommy John in May. He won't be ready till midseason, just like the rest of their staff.
Right.
Right off the rip, I don't see, like, repeat is tough, but they got a great lineup. So
repeat is tough, period.
If that lineup hangs around or just keeps them in games.
If they keep it around and then all the arms come back and all the arms pitch 75% of what they actually are, I mean, there'll be dangers down the stretch.
Tigers, Jack Flaherty, he got $14 million.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't excite me.
That's a prove it deal to me.
Yeah,
I don't think he's washed.
Yeah.
I like Jack Flaherty.
Yeah.
I want him to succeed. Mm-hmm. Detroit's a pitcher's park.
It is.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's just going there for money because they're the ones who actually offered
40 degrees in April.
Oof, no thanks.
And then the smallest big deal is McCutchen. Andrew McCutchen's back with the Buccos. One last ride. I feel like it's been one last ride for a few years.
I was about to say, I could have sworn they already did that.
If you're the Pirates, why would you not? He's worth the price. He's worth the money you're paying him just to have a novelty.
Why do they not just say, "Hey, man, just coach the team"? Obviously, like
I don't disagree.
Stop taking at bats. Stop standing in the outfield and just come coach us.
I think he DHs.
Does he?
I don't know.
Okay, that would make sense.
I'm not sure, but I guess I'm hoping that's the answer.
If we had an age game drop, I'd be like, all right, Chris, what's McCutchen's age? Go. What? Hold on. I'll start looking up. I'll give you
Andrew McCutchen's age.
Yep.
36.
Final answer?
Yeah.
He's 37.
Damn it.
That was close.
That was close.
You were still off. We knew he was old. Man, he's almost as old as us. Or me.
Yeah, none of this weed stuff.
All right. Yeah, 37. He shouldn't be playing baseball anymore.
That really sums up signings, right? That's it. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
And I was worried. I remember at the beginning of the last one, we kind of committed to Fridays for now. Mm-hmm. If anybody thinks different, please let us know. Reach out to us on X, at Coaches Sons Pod. We're also on Instagram, same handle, at Coaches Sons Pod. You'll also find Andrew and I's handle there too. If you think we should be doing anything different, release days, content, you let us know. We'll try to do our best to make everybody happy and keep you coming back. But
yeah, you were afraid there was going to be 1,000 things that happened between our last episodes.
Yeah, we waited 2 weeks and I texted you a bunch of times. And I was like, we should do it this week. And you're like, no. You kind of kept me grounded, which, sometimes I need that. I need to be reeled in a little. I get super excited about this stuff. And yeah, I mean, that's it. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
Right. And now we're going into, as of 3 days ago, I didn't fact check this any further, but there's 8 teams that haven't spent $1 in free agency.
That's wild to me.
Now, a few of them are weird or one-offs, I think. I won't write them off completely. The Jays, the Cubs, the Yankees, they're going to sign somebody, right? They have to. The Yankees are an outlier because they
got Soto. So it doesn't feel like they didn't do anything.
Yeah, correct. And the other funny thing is on that same list, second is the Philadelphia Phillies. So it's like they didn't spend 0. They spent the second most to the Dodgers.
Oh, okay, yeah, because of Nola.
Correct.
Okay,
When I saw it, I was like, "Who did what did I miss?" Like,
it took me a second.
It shouldn't even have counted that way because he just went back.
Yeah, he just went back. Yeah.
Regardless,
interesting.
They did their thing.
I mean, the Yankees are going to spin, and hopefully. Well, I guess not hopefully, because I don't want either of the evil empires to have Yamamoto, but I do think that's where he'll end up.
I think there's still. I said originally he might end up on the Yankees.
Yeah.
That wasn't an official guess. That was just kind of me rambling.
Yeah.
And trying to talk up the Yankees.
Well, we talked about them or the Mets, and the Yankees make more sense. Who would want to go play for the Mets?
Correct. But if you go back to your countryman point,
then
Senga in New York had a really positive season. Was probably their only big positive.
Don't forget about Nootbaar in St. Louis, man.
True. Correct. Lars Nootbaar, strong recruiting pitch. They were golfing together. I think I said that before, but they're WBC teammates.
Exactly.
But yeah, the Yankees are going to spend on something, right? So I think this is all a hang up is him, but it isn't him, if that makes sense to say.
Yeah, chips have to fall again. And, again, I expect the Blue Jays, they have to spend money. They can't not add to their roster. They're going to get left behind. The Yankees are going to, if it's not Yamamoto, it's going to be Snell. If it's not Snell, it's going to be Montgomery. Go down the line, right? The Yankees are going to spend money. So that's going to happen, but we have to. Again, it's the big fish has to land before anything else does.
Montgomery already did a stint there. I wonder if he even wants to go back. He was in New York before.
Hopefully not. Yeah, come down to Hotlanta.
I don't see.
No one calls it Hotlanta. Sorry, Atlanta friends.
Yeah, Yankees are on that list. Marlins, to no surprise, are on that list. Of zero.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, very bad segue there. We're back to teams that haven't spent the dollar in free agency. Marlins,
not a shocker.
Padres? That I sounded confused because I think they sent an offer to I want to say a Japanese closer reliever, I don't think anything got accepted. But they offered, so they're trying in whatever weird small budget thing that they've got going on. The Rockies, I don't know. I'm not. I have no comment. The Twins, which is weird because that's a team that's always right there.
Well, they just lost Gray, so they have to do something.
They won the division.
Yeah.
Easily. They won by 9 games.
Yeah.
Like that. But I think the Guardians are going to be better. Or maybe not better, more healthy.
Yeah. A healthier.
So a healthy Guardians team.
It's going to be a fun division for sure.
Central?
Well, the top end will be fun. I'm sorry. Okay. The Guardians Twins are fun. I apologize.
It'll be a 2-horse race.
Yes.
From day
absolutely.
One.
So, they have to get pitching. Who knows what level that'll be.
There's one more team on the list.
What's that? Oh, it's the Mariners, isn't it?
It's the Seattle Mariners.
Okay. Go ahead, Chris. We'll give you your... We need to name a segment for your Mariners belly.
We're not there.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that can happen. We're the interest kings of this offseason thus far. We've been tied to a lot of people. Rhys Hoskins, Snell, kind of, not really.
You guys tied to Bellinger at all?
We were until they got a quote. And then they deleted that email real quick. They've been on some Jorge Soler. Been kind of bopping around.
Atlanta legend.
Forever and always.
Forever and always. That ball still hasn't landed.
I'm not ready. I'm very close to losing my mind, but
Right.
I'm not ready to go there just yet.
Okay.
There's some time for that to take place.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, everybody can take it easy.
All right, well, so those teams haven't spent, but obviously they will. So who do we think after Yamamoto falls? Like, we got Bellinger, we got Snell, we got Montgomery, we have Hoskins, like you just mentioned. Like, where are these guys going? Like, what do you think is going to happen next? And why? Because I would think Ohtani's Dodgers. Now everyone else is like, all right, time to get everything else. AKA, if I'm not getting Ohtani, I'm definitely getting Bellinger, right? So why has that not happened yet? I mean, the Blue Jays got to do it at this point, right? The Blue Jays have to make that play.
I think fans want them to. I'd be surprised if they didn't. I think, fans tend to spend owners' money their own way, which, again, I don't support at all. I spend it all. But the numbers coming out behind him are $200 million. I mean, we said, I thought he'd get, around, or, the word was he'll get around Chris Bryant, which was like 170 something. It's like, okay, that's doable.
Makes sense.
And then you see that 100 change. It went from 1 to 2. It wasn't even 199, right? It went to 200, and everybody's like, absolutely not. And it's like, okay, well then, I don't know.
For how long though? 10 years?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no way he's gonna sign. It's only 10 years. He's gonna sign a bigger contract than Lee from the Giants. Lee only got 19 for 6 years.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. Okay.
So I could see it being like 7.
Okay. Right.
Ish.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
It's a big spend,
but I mean, he was MVP ish.
He won an MVP.
Yeah,
that's one. And then he had he was a very good player.
Yeah.
And you ran into I don't even know if he actually finished in vote, like where, if at all he finished in voting, but running into a buzzsaw with Freddie and Acuna and
Mookie.
Olsen and
everybody was on
but
fire.
Nonetheless, he had a really good season.
Yeah.
And
see, I here's the deal. If I'm looking for a bat, you can't. I mean, you're not going to do better than Bellinger, really, for the most part. So yeah, I think $200 million is a lot of money. Is he better than Bryant was when Bryant got his money? Yeah, I think so.
He's a little better.
Yeah.
But it's very scary to see Bryant, and you could see similarities.
Oh, I completely agree.
Like
I mean, to be honest with you, I think they're the same player in my head sometimes. 1,000%. They both played for the Cubs at one point, so there's definitely confusion there.
And you could talk defensive value if you want. Like, obviously Bellinger's very good defensively, plays multiple, could play the outfield, could play first at a good clip. But it goes back to, do you think he's worth that? If you're the Blue Jays, where else are you going? Who are you going to go get?
Yeah, I mean, the Blue Jays need help, and if they're going to keep up with the evil empire, they have to do something. And I mean, you add Bellinger to that lineup of it's a dynamic lineup, but they're all young. Mm-hmm. So you add that more veteran, dependable guy, so the weight is not on their shoulders, and maybe they turn it around. So I mean, that would be my move if I'm the Blue Jays. I'd be all in on Bellinger for sure.
I think it's worth it. To be honest, I haven't really seen any report, like just the same ho-hum from Bellinger camp of like who's involved or who's interested.
Who else should really go after him?
Go ahead.
The Giants.
Yeah. They have the money.
They have the money.
He'd have to play he should play first.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Well, I don't know. He could play where he can.
Yeah.
Play musical chairs.
And who's their first baseman now? Is it Bell? Surely not.
Brandon Bell was a Blue Jay more recently than he was.
Was he? Oh crap! Okay, I'm real behind on the Giants. Then.
Honestly, off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
You know who might have been? Wilmer Flores.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
Could have been.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
Regardless, Bellinger is a nice piece to go there.
I mean, they have the cap space. They need to keep up with the Dodgers as well. It makes sense. But if Bellinger just is looking for money, who knows where he'll end up? So he'll go to the Mets.
That's a big piece. I guess you were getting at it earlier and then just, jumped on Bellinger, which is fine, is like you have all these teams, waiting on Yamamoto. And I say all, 4 or 5, right? Dodgers, Mets, Yankees.
Directly.
I guess the Giants were involved.
Sort of.
But again, how many teams? 3? Say 5 max.
Use like
a
5.
Mystery. I want mystery. There hasn't been any mystery teams.
No mystery teams. There are 5 teams that are actually impacted that thought they had a shot. But you have these other teams on the peripheral that we're not going to make moves until we know what that number is, so that we can also make moves around it. Because the economy has to reset. The pitcher economy has to reset, and that's what's going to happen.
It doesn't even make sense though, because he doesn't have the same anything as he's 20. You told me, and I already forgot. He's
25.
25.
Wow, you got it wrong, Chris. You got it right the first time.
Whatever. He's 25
you're miraculous.
years old. It's unbelievable. He's 24 years old. Jesus Christ.
You said it. Man, I love how bad you are with age. All right,
he's a younger pitcher. There isn't a pitcher on the market that's as young as him right now. Snell's available. He's 30 or 31.
Oh, you're guessing age again.
It sucks so bad. Why do I do this? Why do
He's
I
not
put this?
31. No way.
Yeah.
No.
31?
That's your final answer?
Yeah, he has a 3 in front.
You think? All right. Hold on. Sorry, keep talking.
Long story short, he's younger than every available pitcher on the market. So his deal, he could sign a 10-year deal and it'd be fine. Mm-hmm. Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, those types of guys can't sign those deals or aren't going to get those deals. They're just not available.
31. You got 2 today.
You.
Look at you. You're
trying.
ruining the bit.
I know. As much as I got Yamamoto right the first time, I was wrong 3 other times.
That's awesome.
You can tell I like certain ages and just blurting those out and rolling with it. So, yeah, that shouldn't hold anything up. Snell's deal, contract, the length, the amount, the everything, has nothing to do with what Yamamoto gets.
I mean,
Yamamoto, they're talking $300 million. Blake Snell is not going to touch 2.
But they're still looking at per year. Like that's the weight. They're like, okay, Yamamoto's going to make how much per year?
Okay,
so where is Snell going to follow?
Who's paying Blake Snell $35 million?
The Mets?
Nobody. There isn't a team. There's nobody. You're not doing it. And it sounds ridiculous to say because he's a 2-time Cy Young winner, but
it is ridiculous because he does deserve a higher salary. And plus, too, I mean, are we going to see more of this weird deferred stuff happening now?
Why not?
I mean, so those contracts can start looking absurd as hell, and a majority of it's deferred. You know what I mean? So
if you could do it.
So if that's the path everyone's going to take, that's the path everyone's going to take. So who knows? Who knows what it's going to look like? But I think Yamamoto has to happen first before we know anything else, for whatever reason.
All right. So I guess we're just victim to Yamamoto, and then then we go Bellinger, and then it's Snell, and then
you think Bellinger signs before Snell does?
No, because I think the pitching market I do think the pitching market will move.
Yeah,
quicker.
once one starts, they're all joining.
Because I think it almost makes it seem that the teams interested in Snell are the teams interested in Yamamoto.
1,000%. I mean, they're all the same. Yeah.
So it's like.
But I felt that way about Bellinger and
it goes back to the question, what is the holdup? Is it 8? Like, maybe you are right. Maybe it is agents just being like, yeah, you know what? I want Yamamoto to go first because maybe not in terms of like how much I'm going to get, but it's like how many competitors I'll have.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh, okay. The Yankees get Yamamoto. Right. They're done. They're not going to sign another pitcher. Maybe a 5th starter somewhere.
I mean, it makes sense.
So then now the Mets are like, oh no, I got to go get somebody. And then it's like, well, the Dodgers are like, well, I want that guy too because I just missed that. So now it's all.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm
way.
an agent, if I'm Boris Scott or whatever, or Scott Boris, did I say that wrong? Anyways, if I'm sitting there going, hey, I'm not talking to you until I know what the market is, because once that guy goes, you're going to be desperate and you're going to be willing to pay me more money. Yeah,
now that, I've taken a few more seconds, a few minutes to think about it, like that almost makes more sense in terms of just the market stalling. So so let's get Yamamoto signed.
Let's get this ball going.
Let's get this moving. And then again, the smaller chips fall. Like, where's Jordan Montgomery end up? I don't know. If he was going to go to the Cardinals, he would have been there already.
You think so? Yeah.
But like, those teams aren't involved. There's no way they're making phone calls.
Yeah.
Like, are the Cubs still? The Cubs might be one of those one-off teams involved in Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Like, that's a Jordan Montgomery type fit too. So it's like, they're all just waiting on the same thing to happen. Once this guy makes his decision, here we go. Everybody's on your phone's blowing up like crazy. So I guess that's what happens.
Yeah. I think if I were to predict, which we know I'm good at doing, that would be how it's going to unfold. So, all right. Any other big names? Anything else we want to talk about as far as free agents? I mean, obviously not a lot has happened. We've already talked for a while about what has and what could. Anything else before we move on?
I don't think we missed any, big time. Well, I lied. I was going to hold him for our All I Want for Christmas segment, but I'll throw him out there.
You can throw the name out there.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you steal it, I'm going to be angry.
Oh, okay. Oh, then hold on to it then. We'll get to it then. How about that?
Okay, because he should be mentioned with this group, and we didn't mention him last show either.
Ooh. Okay, then definitely hold on to it because I want to be surprised. Okay. All right, so let's move on real quick. Let's talk about the rule updates.
Oh, God.
So Major League Baseball wants to go to 7 innings.
Not yet.
No, sorry. So they've made, nothing significant, really. I mean, they're taking away 2 seconds if someone's on base. So it goes from 20 to 18. Mm-hmm. To me, that's just they are continuing to make base running or give the advantage to the base runner because there's no chess match that's happening with the pitcher and the guy on first or second. So it's giving more advantage to steal because I think they have seen people like home runs, people like stolen bases, and so that's what it feels like to me. Because and Chris, you said earlier off the show that at best it could eliminate 10 minutes.
Yep.
Do
Absolute
that math.
maximum.
Tell everybody that math real quick, just so
God.
we're on the same page.
I saw it on a comment. Sorry, I'm not crediting this person, but essentially, if everybody took every single second of time that they had allotted to them as a pitcher to throw the pitch, over 300 pitches,
which is a lot of pitches.
Yeah, which give or take.
Let's say
let's assume it's 300, which seems high. I haven't looked at how many pitches are in a game recently, but assuming it's 300, that's 10 minutes.
At the very max.
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
And
that's not, I don't feel like that's significant.
Like, what is the decision-making process there? Like, it was one thing, it was taboo when 20 came out, right? Because that was brand new.
Yeah.
And we didn't even get to touch on that. Like, we can for a minute or two here. But it's like, when that came out, a lot of people didn't like it because it was like, what is going on? Like, you're just changing the way games are played. Mm-hmm. What happened? Stolen bases went up, as you said, right? Tougher to hold guys on. You can't just stand there and make guys wait, and people aren't stepping off, all that. And overall, I'm not even going to make up a figure because I don't know, but the time of a game declined, right? It
most definitely did, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It made it more watchable as a fan on television, right? Like, we love baseball. That's why we're doing this, but there are times where you're watching a game on TV and you're just like, man,
it's a haul. Yeah,
like, this is a lot. So as a passive, if there's a passive fan, like, cutting that game to 2.5 hours regularly is
pretty significant. Yeah.
So that was a big deal when it started. Success, and it should.
I think
it worked.
I mean, if the success measurement
was to lessen the time of the game, yes.
Then absolutely was
successful. Short answer, 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
They should have taken more time to monitor what happened. Were there more pitcher injuries? All that type of stuff, right? They should have took more time, got more data points, that whole thing. But now to say, no, we're gonna go 20 seconds to 18. Like, I don't see how that moves the needle. However, I have the statement from Major League Baseball as to why this happened.
This should be interesting.
They reduced time from 20 seconds to 18 with runners on base. Pitchers began their deliveries with an average of 7.3 seconds remaining on the 20-second timer in 2023.
Okay.
Violations with runners on base were the least frequent, 14% of all violations versus 32% of all pitches in 2023. A universal 17-second clock used for the final month of AAA season did not increase violations with runners on base.
Oh, so they play tested this.
They
in
always
the minors.
do. They always do that.
Okay, I didn't know they did that.
But if anything, that says we're going down to 17 next year.
Oof. Which again, 18 to 17.
Me and you, or for an onlooker, you're like, who cares? But like as think about playing the game, and you're like, I gotta think about all these situations. What pitch do I throw? What's this guy on first doing? How do I keep Acuna on first base? You don't.
Yeah, you
but
don't.
There's no art in holding a guy on. You can't.
Yeah.
And if I step off twice, how many times you get picked off? Once a year?
Ooh, I bet that's down way low.
As a pitcher, how many pickoffs do you have a year? 4, maybe max.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot, right? Like Acuna's not getting picked off at first, more than twice a season. So you step off twice, he's gone.
Yeah,
you have to get him.
Yeah.
So like again, what remains to be seen. I was very skeptical of the 20 seconds, so I'm even worse about the 18. But so be it.
I don't love it. I think when we're talking about what's the measurement of success, when you watch the game on TV, it is shorter, so therefore you can consume more of it. So maybe that is a win. I will say it's an adjustment live, because I'm used to baseball being an event.
Yeah.
Like you go to the ballpark, you walk around, you get a beer, you get a hot dog, you buy a hat, whatever that looks like, and if you don't do that before the game now, you're going to miss 3 to 4 innings.
It's crazy.
Which I did when we went to Atlanta to watch them play the Mariners, right?
Correct.
Like I left in like the 3rd inning. I'm like, I'm going to go get a hat and get a beer. I came back, I sat down, they're like, it's a 7th inning stretch. I'm like, and
concessions were closed by the time you came back.
Mad. So now it's an adjustment. That's fine. I can make that adjustment.
We'll get there.
But again, I love baseball, so it wasn't that big of a deal to me. I do wonder, like, what kind of impact this is having on, like, revenue and sales within the stadium. Like, you're now cutting down time for people to spend money on beer, on food, on merchandise. I thought that was going to be where the owners finally go, whoa, we're losing our ass here. Maybe that's not happening. I don't know.
The answer has to be no, because if they did, it would stop immediately.
Yeah, if they're changing it, then obviously it's not impacting that.
Right.
So which is really hard for me to fathom, if I'm being honest. So who knows?
Never underestimate rich people with a ton.
Oh, I completely agree.
Motivated people with a ton of money, right? Like they're just gonna.
I'm more curious about those numbers than anything else, but who knows?
Yeah, you'll never see those numbers.
What other rule change happened, just so we can go over this real quick?
They went from 5 mound visits per game to 4.
Okay. That doesn't really... whatever, that's fine.
It doesn't move the needle. They expanded the first base runner's lane. So, you know how it kind of juts out towards foul territory?
Oh, they put it into fair territory.
So it's that whole box now. Like, so that whole, I'm not
Why? Sure. How is that really going to protect the batter? Is that what they're trying to do? But I don't see how that protects the batter. That's putting them into harm's way in my mind. If they're putting him more into the infield. I always thought that it was on the right side to protect them from anything happening, but okay, go ahead. What's the rationale?
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Oh, great.
The runner's lane will be widened to include the dirt area between the foul line and infield grass. Widening the lane allows batters to take a more direct path to first base while retaining protection from interference. The distance between the foul line and infield grass will be between 18 and 24 inches, and it could differ for synthetic fields.
Are they going to make the outline of the box too like the grass? Because that would look really ugly.
I doubt they're
from an aesthetic.
No, it's probably just your like.
Okay.
You're still there's still the foul line.
Yeah.
But I think they're just saying that whole
you can be in the
lane
dirt now,
as opposed to like,
I mean, okay, so there's a more direct path. Okay, cool, but by what, a half of a step? No way that makes that much of a difference.
I don't know, man. There's some savvy players out there that just kind of toe the line of like where they could throw. Like think about like a lane for a catcher in like maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. I could be way off here.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking because it's saying
It's like a bunt, maybe, but I mean, so you
more
bunt,
direct path to first base while retaining protection from interference. So it's almost giving, like, if they can go to the left side, they can be more to the left.
If you're on the left side, you're going to run straight into the first baseman.
But it's giving the catcher a path more to the right side now.
I guess.
I don't
okay.
know. I guess. I guess I have to see it in practice, or somebody put out an Instagram video and let me see what that looks like.
I mean, it's like, obviously we know they play test this, so it was in the minors. I'm interested to see what that was.
Yeah, we'll see.
It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but okay, let's keep going.
Well, that's really it.
Okay. They said there could be more, right?
There was one more. I'm not even gonna bother touching on it. Overall, I think they're trying to do too much, right? But the other thing that I found absolutely wild, and we'll just do a very quick note on this. So the MLB, the Players Association, right?
Yep.
They have representatives on this competition committee, which is the one that made these rules, right? So the players reps, I'm assuming they're players, but the players reps all voted no to all of these.
Every single one of them.
If I'm not mistaken,
Oh, wow.
yes.
Okay.
However, everything passed because the MLB itself has more representatives than the players do.
So there's no point then.
Yeah, if the MLB wants it passed, it's getting passed.
Oh, weird.
It's like, you could say no, but it doesn't really matter. Thanks for your input.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thanks for coming. See you next time. So it didn't matter. So I don't know how that comes into play. You know, I think CBA is still relatively new, so they're not. I don't know. That just blew my mind. I was like, okay, so like, what's the point of even having this guy in there?
Interesting.
But those are the upcoming rules changes. Supposedly there could be more. I would find it hard pressed that it would be anything drastic. I think these will be the most quote unquote drastic moves.
Yeah.
I think they did all of the big stuff.
Well, I mean, they made the big splash last year.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now they're just fidgeting with stuff that probably doesn't need to be fidgeted with, but we'll see.
It's like they're changing things just to change them because they feel like they have to.
You're not going to
because of the big splash they had last year.
You're not going to notice the 20 or 18 until it. You're just not.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
They'll work it out in spring training. It'll be fine.
Okay. And the base runner thing, no one's going to know the difference. Maybe the players will, but I mean that's not something visually as
You're not
watchers we're going to understand. So okay, that brings us to our last segment. All I want for Christmas is. And it can be all I want for the holidays too, just so we're covering everybody. But obviously we're coming up on the holiday season, so we thought it would be fun to make a wish list. And because we are fanboys, we're gonna have one for our team. We won't waste too much time on our teams, but then we'll also do one for the MLB as a whole as well. So Chris, you want to start us off?
I'm going to start on the Mariners, and just a quick aside. You know how when you're younger and everything's all, the world's in front of you, the world is your oyster, and practically everything, for a lot of the bigger items that you put on your list get fulfilled.
Right.
Look at the holiday magic, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get a little older and you kind of start to realize like how things work, and you're like, people are working hard to make this happen, and I don't need, not that I don't need, I do want, I want the flashy thing. I want the PS5, but if I get the Switch, the used Switch, I'll take it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
so that's how I feel about the Mariners right now.
So you're giving us the adult wish list, not the child wish list.
Yeah, the
like, I've seen some things wish list, not that bright-eyed, bushy tail.
Yeah,
okay.
Mid-teen, like you're like, times aren't as good as the world isn't as clear as I thought it once was. Type of wish list, and it's multiple deals because they need this. Like
yes,
I want multiple small things.
Okay,
a Switch in like 2 games.
Okay,
Jorge Soler,
stud.
James Paxton.
Okay.
And I want Max Kepler via a trade.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what they have to give up to get him, but that's what I want.
Okay.
That gives us a lefty outfielder.
Yep.
It gives us our DH forever until he decides that he's Nelson Cruz 2.0 to me.
Oh, 1,000%.
And James Paxton comes back, finishes out his career. If he pitches well, great. Innings eater. Help out the young guys a little bit.
Okay.
And technically, we might have to trade one of the young guys if
Gotcha. You know what? That's actually a good wish list.
Right. Because one deal. Soler doesn't get it done. Kepler doesn't get it done.
Right.
But in unison,
they do.
I need the game. I need the switch, and I need at least a game to play. You can't just have.
You can't just have a switch.
I need the accessory. I need something. So that's why I went 3 there.
Okay.
MLB, I had a few. I already this isn't an all I want for Christmas, but I love the Orioles' chances of landing a big guy in a trade. So I'm going to stick to my guns on Corbin Burns. But for this segment, all I want for the holidays is I want to see the Cubs get Rhys Hoskins and Jordan Montgomery.
Ooh, okay. You want the Cubs to be relevant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they could win that division.
my all I want for Christmas is similar to you on the MLB side, so we'll get to that. All right, so Braves, I think we all know where this is going. All I want for Christmas is pitching.
Okay.
There's a lot of good options out there. I still think one doesn't do it. Same with you, right? Perfect world. I'm not going to be delusional. We're not going to get Snell. Snell's not on the table. Snell's going to be too expensive. But I do think we can make the C still happen. I do. I think we can make it happen, and I think that we can get another name, and Montgomery is the one that keeps popping out. So Montgomery, Cease. All I want for Christmas is that.
You're gonna be a sad.
I am gonna be a sad one. I'm gonna get Cole. I know.
You're gonna be sad. But go on.
We're gonna So that's kind of where I'm at now. If we just get, so let's say we're like, screw it, we're gonna go for the big fish, and we just get Snell. And we give him the farm for 2 years. Be like, we need to win now. Come be our ace for the next 2 years. Get us a World Series, maybe 2. I don't hate that either. I just don't think that's Double A's approach. Never has been, right? He's not. I'm going to go get
that type of stuff.
That's not what he does. So I'm not delusional to think that will happen, but I'm okay with it if it does. What'll probably most likely happen is we're going to sign mid-tier, 2 mid-tier guys.
That's fine.
So that's the I know what the real world is type of thing. All right. So for Major League Baseball, all I want for Christmas, you don't know this, Chris, but I have a love for the Boston Red Sox. And I need them to be good again.
Okay.
So all I want for Christmas is the Red Sox to stop being irrelevant. Okay.
All right.
I mean, and I don't even have this is how they stop.
You don't even have. I want players. I want presents.
Yeah.
You just want.
I need them to. Okay. So the Red Sox have been a part of the conversation with Yamamoto.
Sure.
Okay. They can get him. They have the space, that changes the conversation.
Correct.
They have a young core, all that kind of stuff. I think if they make a couple big splashes, they can become relevant again. Obviously, the Blue Jays are on a descent, if you're asking me. If they don't sign anybody, they continue on that descent. You give me the Red Sox, give me Bellinger. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Give me, if not Yamamoto, give me Snell. And the Red Sox are now a part of the conversation again. And I just think baseball is better when the Red Sox and the Yankees are both good.
You're spot on there.
Yeah, so
I can get on board.
So that is, I think that's my all I want for Christmas is let's get the Red Sox back at it.
I'm in, but yeah, I think we could fulfill that. And you're not. Yeah, that's doable.
It's doable. I mean, I don't know what happened in the Red Sox, why they stopped doing things. Who knows?
I think they're crying money, but we'll see. I mean, if they're in on Yamamoto, it's not money. So yeah, we'll see.
So we'll see what happens. Obviously, these are our wish lists, and not always. You're not always going to get what you want for Christmas. So
it does.
Have you been naughty and nice, Chris? I mean, what's the verdict there, buddy?
I'm not a good person.
Yeah, degenerate.
So, and one final thought, and because he needs to be brought up, this is similar to Bellinger in episode 2. Josh Hader, the best closer in baseball. Yeah.
Free agent.
Yeah, sure is.
Holy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I forgot.
Ooh, we dropped the ball on that one. Okay, all right, hold on.
So I had him he's written. He's here. I have him written down. And that's why I was like, I'm going to use him in the All I Want for Christmas.
Yeah, but you didn't.
Yeah, because I didn't want him to go to the Cubs, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know.
Because I don't want him to go to the Cubs.
I don't know.
Well, I want him to go to the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Okay, so likelihood, where does Hader go? I mean, I feel like he goes back to the Brewers.
They ain't got money.
Oh, that's fair.
He's probably a Dodger.
Man, can we not play the Dodger game?
It's a thing.
Do they need a... No, they do.
Yeah, they do.
It's the Dodgers. Oh, Chris, you just ruined my Christmas.
I mean... Yeah, I mean, think about the teams with some dollars. I mean, maybe the Rangers swoop in.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they got Snell and Hader?
Yeah,
or even Montgomery and Hader.
We didn't even talk about Hader the last time, so I was like, he has to be talked about.
Oh my
but
God.
I don't know the best fit. Like, I think he could fit in Chicago. I don't remember their closer currently, but I guess that works
Without a doubt.
So. That's it. He needed to be brought up because this felt like the Bellinger thing that we screwed up the last time.
That's us missing names for sure. So
happens.
We'll
get there.
Okay, I'm gonna have to think about that one because he's definitely a big piece for somebody. So, but I mean, it's one of those things. Maybe he goes to where the most money is, and then that he gets traded away to a contender halfway through the season. That's usually what happens with closers.
You should think long and hard about it, and you put out something on social media about where you think he goes.
I can do that. And you know my prediction will be correct, so.
Yeah, the guy's good.
High probability.
I mean, just so everybody's aware, and we're getting ready to wind down, is if we get Snell or Burns correct, like, we're going to be insufferable. And we should be more with Andrew getting the Glasnow thing right. Like, Ohtani, I guess, wasn't a huge surprise.
No, I think everyone knew the Dodgers.
But Glasnow was kind of a big deal.
The Glasnow was a big one.
If Snell goes to LA Dodgers or Corbin Burns ends up on the O's via a trade, like, you'll see us. You'll just see that clip everywhere.
All I'm saying is we are not professionals.
No.
But somehow we're really good at this, Chris.
We're going to... But the other part, like, again, I left the O's out of the All I Want for Christmas, but I want them to make another a deal or two.
Yeah.
If it's Burns, that might be enough, and that's it. That's really what we've got. That's a good. I think that's a solid episode from us here thus far. Keep us top of mind. If you haven't already, throw us 5 stars. Write us a nice review. Can't be too mean. It is the holidays, so give us a nice review. Rate us 5 stars. Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you want to be. We're on X. We're on Instagram at Coaches Sons Pod, all spelled out. Coaches plural, Sons plural, Pod not plural, singular. That's the word.
Yeah, and we really like to interact with you guys more as we continue to grow. So please reach out to us. Tell us why we're awesome. Tell us why we suck. We'll take all of it. Any interaction is something we'll take in, and we will do the best we can to take that feedback and apply it to the show. And so we just want to thank you again for listening. This has been a really fun ride, and we're going to continue to do this. I hope everyone has a happy holiday and a happy new year. My name is Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And this is the Coach's Sons Podcast.